Hey everybody, happy Monday afternoon to you and welcome to Chooching on a Monday afternoon. We just can't seem, I know you're getting tired of hearing me whine and complain. We just cannot seem to catch a break with this weather. Yesterday was so glorious. We got the sun trying to peek through the odd spot in the clouds, but looks like storms on the way in over this way in the west. So well, let's go into the shop. We're going to try to do something today we rarely do because I usually get good quality stuff. And those of you who have been following the adventures of our Zenith tabletop radio here will know that we got it running last episode. I just don't feel happy unless my Christmas lights are on. There we go. Whee. I know you guys are looking at this place like, holy hell, Rosie, here we go again with the shop. But believe me, it's worse than, you know, it looks worse than it probably is. Anyway, one of the big problems I have with the, this is a 1965 Zenith, and Zenith is always good build quality. The 1965 M723W white, which means white here for the table radio, is the quality of our sound is really poor. Out of the world. You hear a lot of crackling, so we want to clean up some controls today, and then we want to do something called an alignment. It's not something I do too often here, but what it actually does is makes them, it's like tuning up a car, except you don't have to do it that often on this. We have intermediate frequency transformers in here that we're going to be adjusting and peaking using a vacuum tube multimeter that you can see over here, and you really need that to work on tube equipment. You can't just use a regular voltmeter. It has to be a one that's specifically designed. It's run on tubes itself. So the AM is pretty good. I don't have a big issue with AM.
We're saying, you know what? If I can watch the show I want on some other device,
you know, AM is real clean.
It could be my phone, my tablet, or
we're getting a little interference because I have CFLs in here for lighting.
Full silver front or collectible coins.
Except for that, I had to write a check last week for taxes. So
you can hear how clean that is. That's our local station, KSRO 1350 AM. And I don't have an issue with AM, but when it comes to FM, I got all kinds of issues here. So we're going to try to clean that up, the sound today, do a little bit of alignment, try to bring the adjustments into line so we maximize the signal that we're getting here. So to do that, I need to take the, remove the chassis from the casing again. And my standard caution is that this tube stuff can be killer. And the other thing too is this radio has no power transformer to isolate. I don't want to get too technical on this stuff, but it's called a widowmaker because, well, you could potentially really hurt yourself on this because it doesn't have a transformer built in that steps down the 120 voltage and takes off working taps of lower voltage, 6 volts, 12 volts, whatever. It's just 120 volts right into that baby, and then they use big resistors to drop down the power. Well, it can be risky if you're not properly grounded. You will become the ground on that and can hurt yourself. So be careful. Tube equipment can be deadly. Some of this stuff I have over here has working voltages inside, DC voltages up to 400 and 500 volts DC. It will definitely kill you. So let me go ahead and get this undone. I should issue a correction. Normally you use a vacuum tube voltmeter, but for some reason this has a, might be out of tube on the inside or something. It's not working, but that's the absolute, besides using the oscilloscope. I don't want to fire that up. I'm missing some probes and stuff, but somewhere around the shop here. But on the voltmeter here, this is one way to align, and a vacuum tube voltmeter is preferred, as I said. But I am using the Fluke here, and the nice thing about the SAM's folders and the SAM's schematics and things, they give you the alignment instructions. They tell you to set your frequency generator. You can see there for, we're doing an FM alignment using an AM, using AM signal, using FM signal generator here. And let's see, using AM signal generator. Let's see, 10.7 megacycles, which we're on here. I don't know how well you can see the scale here. We're right on the 10.7 mark in here, and you can hear the signals being generated. Probably hear that pretty good, and that's passing through the system here. And then they give you various test points here. You have to hook up your meter correctly. It's got to be, one side's got to be grounded here, and the other side's got to be on the test point that they specify, which is point, where the heck did that go? Point A, which is the upper corner of this transformer here. It's right up in that area. I'm going to try to get a little bit of better light up there. And I'm right on the corner of it. You can see the four corners of it there. And I'm on the corner of it. And what you want to do now, once you've got that set and the signal's feeding in real good, you want to go ahead and start adjusting your cans here, your transformers. They tell you adjust point A8, A9, A10, A11, A12. You go through and they're all noted on here. A1, A8. So we're going to start at A8 here, and we're going to adjust this for the maximum here. I wish I had my alignment tools, so I'm using, shouldn't really use a screwdriver, but it works okay. And then what we're doing is sort of adjusting this for maximum. You can see that peaked out about 24, and then as I'm adjusting the can, the transformer here, it's kind of sliding off the other side. So I'm just trying to peak this. And these things are very sensitive. Signal come in really good. So we've peaked that transformer now, and I'm just turning this. I've peaked at about 27, 28, 30. It's bouncing a little bit, but that's pretty darn good right there. And then it's simply a matter of going through with the other ones here and adjusting the other ones. We've got A8, so we'll go over to A9 now. to be this one right here. We'll show you how we use the scope to do it, where we have a signal fed in, a sweep signal at 10.7 megahertz, and then we adjust the cans to get that centered in there, so the transformer. So I'm just going to go on to the next one's A10, 11, 12, and I think this is going to make a big difference. Some of them, these cans have a top adjusting slug, and then they have a bottom adjusting slug. See, it rolls off the other side, so you have to try to peak it. I'm going to get on that one. I'm going to continue on now. I think the alignment's complete as best as I'm willing to do on this radio. It's not a big high-end FM receiver. We can use an oscilloscope to do it. We can use a vacuum tube voltmeter when that decides to work, but I find in just doing table radios and things like that standard flukes are good. I certainly recommend that you use alignment tools, which I have here. They go into the slots on these transformers here, and they're designed to fit better. You should never do what I do and use metal. You might short something out there, but I'm missing one of my alignment tools, the yellow, and the whole shop just needs a good thorough going over again. But anyway, let's turn off our signal generator now, and let's see where we stand in terms of how we've done. So I'm going to get the radio back in position, get it back down. I'm also going to blast a little cleaner into the control knobs too, okay? The volume and other controls. Let's go ahead and blast some of this in here. Clean out that a little bit. I don't think I need one just for that. I think is good. Worked that around a little bit, but it's really hard to get a grip on that. Got a knob. Let me see if I just have some kind of knob laying around here I could just use for a second, just to help me turn that. Alright, I got to get some pliers on it. What I'm going to do is work that in with all of that. I gave that a good spraying, so it should make better contact here. So what I'm going to do is just work these back and forth, the volume control and the AM, FM, and automatic frequency control a little bit. So, okay, hang with me. It's funny, anybody need a knob? I only have 5,000 of them here, right? I'm trying to get one that fits just to allow me to turn that. There we go. Come on, baby, go on there. Make sure it's unplugged. It's getting caught on something. One thing I'm noticing is one of the speaker connections is a little too loose. So you can imagine as this radio vibrates and the speaker vibrates, you're losing connectivity probably dozens of times a second there as this thing is vibrating and not making a good connection. So I want to sort of close that loop a little bit so it will fit a little better on there. Don't want to close it so much that I'm going to have a problem, but close that a little bit. A little bit of a squeeze on that. Let's see if that helps anything. Let's see. Yeah, that's a much nicer fit now. Okay. The other one's fine. Just that one was really loose. So I'm going to go ahead and position the radio, and let's keep our fingers crossed. Certainly we've done more complicated projects, but this one was a lot of fun to work on this little radio, and now I have a nice radio for the shop, so I'm excited about that. And you know, it always helps to have real good to Sam's, the service bulletins and the schematics the manufacturer supplied, all of them to Sam's. I think they're somewhere out in the Midwest. And there's just thousands and thousands of them. Almost everything, probably everything built in the United States from 1910 to say 1975. It's all covered in Sam's bulletins here. So always a nice thing to have. Well, thanks a lot. Did something today we rarely do. An alignment, what I call an alignment on the fly, and next time I hope we'll be getting the oscilloscope out. We'll have to get the special sweep generator that can stick a little marker in the signal, and then we'll do our adjustments accordingly. Been a lot of fun. Thanks so much for being along. Thumbs up are appreciated, and I always love these little time wasters. Thanks so much, everyone.
A bit scared. Come hear you testify.
Thanks again, everyone.